and welcome to Gaming Solo. My name is Rob, your solo gamer friend, and this is a gaming solo playthrough of Boonlake, created by Alexander Pfister and produced by Capstone Games. If you haven't had the opportunity, in the description below is the setup link for the setup of this game. You feel free to pause this, go and watch the setup if you need to watch that, then catch back up with me, and you're more than welcome to play along with me, and let me know how much better you did than I did, because I guarantee you're going to do way better than me. Alright, without any further delay, let's get the game started. First one will explain the route you have to take, because there will be a little bit of confusion if you did not thoroughly catch it in the rulebook. So the route you must follow on the river is going through here, and once you pass each of these blue areas, these like dams are called locks, you stop and do scoring. The first player to cross it instantly causes scoring. You don't score each time a person crosses it, only when the first person crosses it. But when you follow this route here and you hit this first lock, you must take the left fork, the northern fork, and go up this direction until you pass this lock. Once you pass this lock here, you do scoring again, then all players will put their boats back at the start position and they will follow this route again. But when they pass this lock a second time, they will take the southern route, or the right fork, all the way until they pass this lock here. When you pass this lock, you will do lock scoring and in-game scoring. And that's the route you must follow. And you'll see that happen as we go through the playthrough. Now, once you have your 7 tokens, because you're the starting player, you start with 7 tokens, or not the starting player. The Wise Eminence is the starting player. Because you're a second player, you get to start with 7 coins. So I have my 7 coins right here. I have 2 1s and a 5. And the Wise Eminence gets to go first. And to understand how to move the Wise Eminence, you must understand the anatomy of his tiles that you will flip. If you look at the Wise Eminence tile, you're going to look for 4 things on there. You got the numbers in each of the corners. You have the top 1/3 of it is the action only the Wise Eminence takes. The bottom 2/3 are the actions that you get to take with the Wise Eminence. And I'll explain how those actions happen. If you look between the top 1/3 and the bottom 2/3, on each end are the alphabet letters. So sometimes it says, if drawn B tile, you take this action here. But right now this is an A tile. So if you look at this tile right here, you will always have a settler in the top 1/3 and a cattle in the top 1/3, or a cactus scoring section. If the settler or the cattle is at the very bottom of the action board, which is right here, if they're in this last spot, then you take the actions of that tile, or that's on this tile. If neither one's at the bottom, then you give the Wise Eminence a score. So right now, there is not a settler, which is the flag, and there's not any cattle grazing, which is the cowbell. So then you get to move the cactus track, scoring track token, 1 space. Then looking at the bottom, you want to see which of those 3 symbols is towards the top of the action board. So the top 1/3, you take whichever one's at the very bottom. The bottom 2/3, whichever is closest to the top. And you have 3 symbols. You have one that looks like a flashlight, which represents Pioneer. You have the other one that looks like a trophy, which represents regional scoring. Now, regional scoring, there's these 4 regions here. And the last one is a hammer. That's a builder action. So right now, you have to see which one is closest to the top. And if you look at this tile, you take the actions on this tile, not the tile that you draw. You're drawing the tile because you need to know how many spaces the Wise Eminence is going to move. And he will move the number of spaces required. He doesn't get to come short. And you get to take the second half of the tile actions. So right now, the Wise Eminence, the closest to the top is the Pioneer, which looks like the flashlight. So you take that and you place it at the bottom. Do not push it up yet, because you need to remember how many spaces you got to move the Wise Eminence ship. And so this says he gets to lay 2 tiles out. So what you do is you grab 1 tile, and then you got to figure out where that tile goes. And if you look at the numbers on this token again in the 4 corners, and then what you have to do is you have to look at the next tile that's flipped over. And without touching the tiles, whatever corner that the Wise Eminence figure is pointing to, that's the number that you lay the tile out on. And how you figure out what the number is, you look at the Wise Eminence board. All the tiles, locations for the tiles, are 1 through 33. And right now the wise eminence is pointing to the top right corner, which is number 27. So you look at the wise eminence, figure out where number 27 is. And number 27 is located in the southern region, and it's actually right here. Now, because that space has not been taken up, you lay a tile there. Now, if there was a location, if there's a tile already in that location, then you have to count numerically up until you find a free space to put that tile at. So right now 27 was open, but if 27 was covered, then you keep moving numerically higher until you get a spot that is open. Once you get to 33 and they're all covered, then you start back over at 1, which is up here, and keep going until you have a free space. You're always going to find a free space. You're not going to have a missing space. But because you used to lay out 2 tiles, you flip over the next one, and it's supposed to go to 27, but because 27 is taken up, then you lay it in number 28 because it is available. And now he has taken his actions. You, on the other hand, looking at this tile, first of all, the color of the tile dictates what cards you're able to play if you can play a card from your hand right here. So blue says I can only play daytime cards. Red will allow me to take dusk cards. Dark blue or black will let you play nighttime cards. And then the grayish brown one right here is a wild one. And how you identify the symbols on the cards is you look in the top right hand corner of each card you have. I'll pull these 3 out right here and kind of spread them out. In the top right hand corner you will see the 3 symbols. You'll see the sun, the dusk, and the moon. Those are telling you when you can play those cards based upon what tile you've pulled out. And because the wise eminence has already taken its action, I get to take the second half of this action here. I can't take the first half. That belongs strictly to the wise eminence, even though he's not taking, he's taking it off his tile. But I always get to play the second half of every tile that the wise eminence pulls. And this is telling me that I can draw 2 cards, play 1, or sell it. And because the cards themselves don't have a specific color to them, I'm able to do any one of those cards. Even though this tile is blue, the cards themselves it's allowing me to pick any color of card or any time of day card that I want to play. Also, it's very important, this is the only tile that has it. In the very top of the second half, that shows the first player cannot take that action because this tile is pretty powerful. So I'm going to draw 2 cards. Like I said, I have the opportunity to play 1 or sell 1 for 2 coin. And I drew a dusk and a nighttime card. And this one allows me for 3 coin. I don't have the resource, so I don't have the resources for this. So the cards, to understand the anatomy of a card you want to play, in the left corner there, top left side, it shows you the resources you have to spend. So I need to spend 3 coin, 2 iron, and 2 stone in order to play that card. I don't have the iron or stone for that. The best I can have, if I move my boats, I can only get 1 stone and 2 iron. So I don't have that at all. And the same with this card I drew. Has something similar. 3 coins, 2 loom, and 2 iron. I just don't have the resources for that. So I'm going to go ahead and sell one of these cards and get 2 coin out of it. And I'll put the discard pile, I'll just drop it right here inside this dice tray. And I'm going to get 2 coins for that, which increased me from 7 to 9. And then the wise eminence's final action is he gets to move. So the tile that you pulled out, there's a number underneath it, also lined up right here too. Tells you how many spaces wise eminence gets to move. You never have to move those total spaces if you choose not to. But the wise eminence must always move the spaces that he exposed. So he exposed 4 spaces, so he gets to move 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. The wise eminence will never collect money or anything from this board with the exception of victory points. So if the wise eminence lands on a space that gives it victory points, it will gain victory points. But that's the only time it collects from the water lines. And then once when it's finished, push this tile up to close it up, and now you have a whole new rotation of tiles ready to pull from. And then of course you discard his tile until it's time to reshuffle. And that's the wise eminence actions at this time. He's going to take a lot more actions, a little more explaining in certain areas, but that's it for now. So now it's my turn. I want to get stuff on the board. The more stuff you get on the board, the more you clear from here, the more points you earn. Also, you have this right here, your lever section. These are special actions you can take once per lock. And if you have the coin, you buy a lever, you cover the thing, and then when you want to take that action, you just lower the lever, take that action, and it stays lowered until you clear a lock. Then you reset it. And I'll show you how that works shortly. Because on some of these cards requires you, if you want to play the card, buy the card, it also gives you bonus points for how many levers you own. So, but we'll go through that as the game progresses. So I definitely want to get cattle out. I want to get people on the board also. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the very top tile. And this tile is a nighttime tile. It'll allow me to either play or sell a nighttime card. So I'm going to look, see if I have any nighttime cards that I want to keep or get rid of. And right now, I kind of like them all. So I'm going to keep them. So, and I don't have the resources to play them. Let me double check. Actually, I do. So I'm going to move my boats. So right now, I have 2 wood because I have 2 boats in the wood section. But I also have 1 iron. And the only reason why I have 1 iron because the boat's not there is because I have that iron plus 1 token in there. So it always has 1 iron regardless of what the boat is. So to play a nighttime tile or a card, I need 6 coin, 2 iron, and 1 stone. And this is going to allow me to instantly place a settler out or upgrade a settler to a house. I don't have a settler out, so I'll be placing a settler out. So how this works is I have to spin my 6 coin, of course. So there goes my 6. I move my boat. 1 goes to the stone and the other one goes to the loom. Now I have 1 stone and 2 loom. And then that means I met the requirements for this card right here. Now, if let's say I had 2 boats right here in the loom and I need a stone, to move backwards it costs 2 coin per boat. So if I was going to go reverse order on here, I'd have to pay 2 coins per boat. You can go as far back as you want to, but it's going to cost you 2 coins. And so right now, I was going downstream, going with the flow, it was free. But going upstream, I need help to row the boat or get pulled, so I got to pay 2 coins to get pulled back up. So right now, I'm good here. And the symbol shows going that direction will cost 2 coins. So, and this one shows 0 coins, so you can't forget it. So right now, I get to place a settler on the board. So I get one of my settlers, and I get to place them wherever I want to. If I place it here, I get 1 coin. It costs 5 coin to place the settler here, but I would get 8 victory points for a village once I get a village on there. It'll cost 12 coin or 16 if I want to go bottom half. And by spending those 12 coins, I can move either my income track or my card track up 1, but I don't have the coins for that. And this right here will let me get let me collect a card from the card pile, or I can spend 5 cards and I can move the coin track 1. So do need to move up on the coin track because at end of game scoring you collect things. So I think I'm going to get rid of 5 cards, and I'm going to place it right here. I'm going to figure which 5 I'm going to get rid of. Cards are important, so I'm taking a risk by doing this. So I'm getting rid of these 5 cards here, which leaves me 1 card remaining. And I get to go once on the coin track. And that is the end of my turn with the exception. Now I get to move my boat. I can move my boat up to 4 spaces. I'm only going to move it 1. It puts me pretty far behind the Wise Eminence, but that 1 allows me to draw another card because I land on a spot that shows a card. And that ends my turn. Now it's the Wise Eminence turn. We'll flip over the tile. So at the very bottom, it has the picture of the flag for settler, which is right here. It's at the bottom. So that means he gets to place a house on the board. He's going to place it based on the location of the head here. It's going to be number 22. And so 22 is right here. So he has a house right here. And then we see what's closest to the top. you have what looks like a shovel or a trowel. It's right here. The next one is the hat, which is right here, and the bottom one is the settler, the flag, so that's at the bottom, so it's going to be the trowel. So he pulls the trowel. That means he gets to score 1 point on the cactus track because that's what's on his card. And then I get to take an action, which means I can I can sell or play a card. If I sell for 2 coins, or I can play a card. And unfortunately, I don't have the coin to play a card. I don't want to sell a card, so I don't take that action. And the Wise Eminence moves 3 spaces on the board, so he's down here now. Push that up, and now it is my turn. I think I'm going to lay out a pasture. So I'm taking the cattle one with the cattle bell, and it will allow me to first either sell a card or play a daytime card. I don't need to do either one. But I get to pick a pasture tile, which is right here, double-sided. I can place it anywhere on the board I want. I'm going to place it right here. By placing it there, it also allows me to get 2 more coin. The downside is the Wise Eminence is also touching that. So if he places cattle here, he gets points for being connected to, once it upgrades to a village, he will get points for being connected, the cattle being connected to a village. But right now it's just a house. So I think I'm going to place that there. I get 2 cards. So I'm grabbing the 2 cards, and pretty decent. I could definitely play a card later. And now I get to take the second half. Like I said, I get to play both halves of it. The second half allows me to either place a cow or draw or sell a card. I'm actually going to try to place a cattle. So it costs a settler to place a cattle. And your 2 settlers, the settlers you have here are the ones on this section, the ones you play. You can't touch those until you clear a row. And you got to earn settlers to put them into your play area. So I'm going to spend a settler, and I'm going to place a cow, and I'm going to put him in the pasture right here. Now I still got to upgrade this settler to a house and to a village to score points for having that cow there. But right now I don't get any points for having it there, but I do have space, so that's all that counts. So I spent one of my settlers to get a cow there, and now I have a cow on the board. And then I get to move up to 4 spaces. I'm going to move 3 spaces and collect a coin. That ends that turn. Now it's the Wise Eminence turn. And he has the cowbell, which is at the bottom, so it means he gets to place, it's a B tile, so he gets to score once on the cactus track, and he gets to place cattle on the board. And he's going to place it in the closest pasture that is to number 17. 17 is here, so you count up, and it'll go right here. Now if I place a second cow there, it would cost me 2 settlers to put 1 cow there because there's already a cow there. But the Wise Eminence gets to ignore that rule. And now he gets to see what's closest to the top. And what he's looking for, he has the trowel, which is here. He gets the flashlight symbol, which is Pioneer there. Or he gets the builder symbol right here. So he's going to take the builder symbol, which means he gets to go once more on the cactus track. And these are points for him every time we go through scoring. And now I get to take the second one. It means I can give up a settler to purchase a lever. But I've still got to pay for the lever. So I'm looking at it, and I want levers, but I don't think I'm ready to give up a settler for that yet. So instead, I'm going to draw a card because that's the other action it allows me to do. It's either one or the other. And that was a nighttime card. And then he gets to move 3 more spaces. And then we close that up. And now it's my turn. I think I'm going to go ahead and take this action here, which is the higher action, which allows me to add an inhabitant to my area. And I get to explore, which means I get to lay a tile out. And of course I can lay a tile wherever I want as long as it's connected. And I think I'm going to I can either lay a tile here, and the tile I pulled it costs 2 coins, but I'll get a vase with that. I can lay one here and get the wood resource, a +1 wood resource. I can lay here and get another settler or another inhabitant, or lay them here to get coins and cards, or even here to get 3 cards because it's connected by a bridge. And I think I'm going to, really looking at it here, I think I'm going to get a resource. I'm going to lay here, and that's going to allow me to get 1 wood resource. So now my wood is a +1. So I always have wood, 1 wood, and I always have 1 iron. And then the second action, I can sell 3 cards or 3 coins to gain an inhabitant, and I can do that as many times as I want. So if I want, I got 4 coin, or I can give up 3 cards and 3 coins to get 2 more inhabitants, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think we'll sit on it right now and just keep building my inhabitants, but I get to move 4 spaces, and I'm going to move all 4, so I'm right here. So I did explain this. You're not allowed to share a space with any other boat unless you're in one of the port areas. So I cannot sit on the space with the wise eminence. So if I get to move 4 spaces, say it's my turn, I'm right here, and I want to move 3 spaces, the space the wise eminence on does not count as a space now. So it'd be 1, 2, 3 instead of 1, 2, 3. So I skip over the wise eminence, I skip that number and keep counting until I hit the number. But since I'm in one of these port areas, then you are allowed to share space. But what I'm really doing is I'm collecting a vase right now, because some of these cards require a vase, and then that will end my turn. It's wise eminence turn. Flip over the tile, and at the bottom he does not have the pioneer or the cattle, so he gets to score 1 point on the cactus track. And you got to pay attention. The cactus track kind of is windy. It doesn't keep going buffer. It's almost like it keeps flipping back and forth, the switchback. And then the closest to the top for him that he has symbol on is the trophy one, which is regional action. And how that means is all 4 of these regions have scores. The wise eminence will always get victory points for scoring the region. If you score a region, you take the action on the thing. And what happens is the wise eminence is going to choose what's going to be best for him. And what's the best for the wise eminence is he might want to score in Boonlake. It's going to give him 4 points on the track. And then all the other regions, the second half, everybody, to include the wise eminence, gets to take, they collect coins for each of the items they have on the board. The wise eminence cannot collect coins, so he gets points. So he covered up Boonlake. If I had something in Boonlake, I do not get any money for it because he did the action on Boonlake. But I do get to collect in all the other 3 regions he did not take the action in. So right now the wise eminence has 2 items, which is a cow and a house in southern. So he gets another 2 points on the victory track. I have 2 items, a settler and a cow, so I get 2 coin. I get to collect coin, he gets to collect points when you do regional scoring. And then he gets to move 4 on the board. So, and that is his turn. And he is 1 action away from forcing scoring for regional scoring within the lock. So now it's my turn. I get to choose what I want to do. I want to put cattle out, but I want to get more people also. I think I'm going to, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and take the pioneer action. And I can either upgrade, I can either play a card or sell a card this daytime. And I have the coin to, I think I'm going to play this card here. And what this does is anytime I sell a daytime card, I get an additional coin for a daytime card. So this is a ongoing, so I'll put this here. This was a one-time card. The lightning bolt's one time. The green symbol with the circle in it means continuous. So I'm going to pay 4 coin. I need 2 loom and 1 wood. I got to pay 2 more coin to move the boat back to the wood. Oh no, I don't have 2. I forgot. I got that wood token, so I'm good. So I have the 2 loom and I have the 1 wood because I have a +1. So therefore I got this. So every time I sell a daytime card, I get 3 coins instead of 2 coin. And then I get to lay 2 tiles and upgrade or lay out another inhabitant. So I'm going to lay out 2 tiles. I'm going to lay this one. I'm going to lay this right here. I'm gaining an inhabitant. And I'll explain why in a second here. And then I'm going to lay the second tile. I think I will lay this one. I can go across either one of these bridges because I'm connected to it. And I will lay this here, and I'm going to get 3 cards. And they will add to my hand. And now I get to place an inhabitant, upgrade inhabitant. I want to upgrade this inhabitant to a house. So in order to do that, first I take him off the board. He's gone forever. Or not forever. He goes to the pool. But I also have to take an inhabitant out of my ready, which is these here, the ready inhabitants. And I also have to burn him back into the pool in order to get a house. So you pull the inhabitant off the board, and then you take an inhabitant off your player board, but in return you put a house on the board. And now I am closer to having a village. A village will cost 2 inhabitants when you put out your little village here. Just keep in mind, to upgrade it to a village will cost you 2 inhabitants off the board, plus the house will come off the board. And then I get to move 4 spaces. Well, first of all, I don't get to take the second action because first player is crossed on there. So I get to move 4 spaces. I'm going to move 3 spaces. No, I'm going to move 4 spaces. And on here, in this port, I can either gain another resource or I can gain a vase. I'm going to go ahead and gain the stone resource and put it right here. So I have +1 stone. So I always have at least 1 stone, 1 iron, and 1 wood in play. And that ends my turn. So Wise Eminent's turn. This will be the last action he takes before we do interim scoring. And there's neither one of the settler or the cowbell at the bottom, the cattle grazing. So he is going to score 1 point on the cactus track. And then the closest to the top is the shovel here. So he's going to get that. And he gets to move another space on the cactus track. So he's up to 2 points for scoring. And I get to take the second one. I can sell or I can either sell or I can purchase any card I want to. And I really don't have, I do have the income. Debating if it's worth spending my last 2 coins, because I have the stone and I have the iron. And what happens is I can trade 2 vases in for 4, well no, that's immediate action, I only have 1 vase. So I'm not going to take any action because the rest I just don't have the income for. So I might sell, I'm going to go ahead and sell the card that I thought I was going to play. I'm going to sell this as a nighttime card for 2 coin. And then the Wise Eminence gets to move 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. He landed on a scoring, so he gets to score, and I was moving him up. So he's green, I'm yellow. So I was moving up yellow. So he scores 3 points because he landed on 3 victory points. So he's up to 9 points for the game. And that will end his turn. And now we go into interim scoring. Alright, let's start the interim scoring. We'll start with the Automa first because this is simple and to the point, where for the players a little more details happening there. So for the Automa, you get scores for each of the areas he has uncovered, and the scores is written on the board. So for the first house being gone, he gets 0 points. The settlement, there's still all 4 settlements there, so there's no points there. But he does get 2 points for one of the cattle being on the board, so brings him to 11. And he also gets 2 points for where he's sitting at on the cactus track, brings him to 13. His cattle is not located next to any settlement, so he gets 0 points for that. And that is his scoring right there. Now for the player scoring, a lot more detail goes into that. And I haven't gone over these score markers at the bottom here, so I'll go over them now when we're scoring. But first, you start at the top, you move from left to right. And this is for interim scoring only. So the first thing you do is you get the option to purchase 2 cards or sell 2 cards. So, and they're all for 2 coin each unless you have some adjustments. And all the cards I have I really would like to keep, so I'm not going to do that right now. Now I might go ahead and sell the Town Hall because it's pretty expensive. So I'm going to get rid of the Town Hall and get 2 more coins. And that brings my coins up to 6 with 1 vase. And that's it. I'm not going to play any cards. And then we go down to scoring down here. So you have score markers and you must score every interim scoring one of these markers. And if you don't score, you still place a marker down, but you take a loss of points. And the longer you take for each round, the harder it is to get a good score. So it's kind of like a gamble, what you can get now versus what you think you can get later. So going from left to right, so the left one is if I trade, for every 2 coins I trade, I can earn a victory point. So if I do this in the first round, I have to do it 1 time. But if I wait till the second round, I have to be able to do this 3 times. The 4th round is 6 times, and the last round is 8 times, which means I would need 16 coin in order to achieve it without losing points. The next one, which is mine for yellow, and each one has their own color. This one says that I can play, if I play a daytime card and a dusk card, I get points for that, depends on the round. So right now in the first round I play 0 daytime and 1 dusk card. Second round takes 1 daytime, 1 dusk card. The third round takes 2 daytimes and 3 dusk cards. And the 4th round takes 3 daytime and 5 dusk cards. And that's for me. If I score that, I get double the points because this is my scoring. I'm not going to do that because I think I can make this by the 4th round. But I'm risking because I can also lose double the points. The third one is I have to have occupied 3 territories or presence on 3 territories that are connected, kind of like in a triangle. So I don't have that anywhere on the board, so I definitely cannot score that right now. And the final one is on the card track, I have to be in either slot number 1, which is here, second round is slot 2, third round is slot 4, and the 4th round is slot 7. So I got to get that or I lose points. So that's the bottom half. But you can also score anytime within the game if you want to by placing one of your workers that you have available in your color slot. And so what happens is if I want to, I can if I put a worker on mine, I get 2 times the score again. But the resources to play the top half, and you lose that worker permanently, they stay there for the rest of the game, it's going to cost me 14 coin, 2 stone, and 2 iron. And with that iron, I get 2 additional meeples, I get 7 victory points, plus times 2, which is great, and I get to move 1 on the card track. So I'm definitely going to take advantage of that eventually. And then the others are very similar to that. They're all the same. The difference is victory points fluctuate, and the resource and income cost fluctuates. So you can actually throw a meeple in there and take that. And I want to take advantage of at least this one here because double the victory points, I will need that to beat the Automa. So I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and put my first marker down right here, and I'm going to trade in 2 coins, just 2, because I only have to do it 1 time, for 1 victory point. And therefore I've met that goal, and I get an additional victory point for having that there. So now I've earned 2 victory points, 1 for the trade value for the thing, and plus for putting my 1 victory point marker there. The next is you go ahead and do your income and your card. So right now I'm on slot number 1 on the income track, gives me 3 coins. And I'm on slot 0, which gives me 2 cards. And I'll just put these here, go over them later. And then you reset your levers if you had any. But if you did not use a lever during this interim, then you get 1 victory point for each lever you do not have to reset. Once you finish resetting your levers, you want to go ahead and score your board. And of course, you score on items you've removed from the board. So right now you either score or coin, or a combination of both, depending on what you removed. So right now we removed 1 house, which gives me 2 coin, but 0 points. We removed 1 cattle, which gives me 1 coin. And I only get points for cattle if they're next to settlements. And once again, you get 1 point per cow next to each settlement. So if I was cow next to 2 settlements, it would have been 2 points. But I don't have any settlements out, or I'm not next to any of the Automa settlements, so that ends scoring right there. And then finally, you reset your region scoring. So you uncover all the markers. Region scoring starts over. And that's handling the top part. Now there's a bottom part also here. This is in-game scoring. And this is for every lever you have, you get points once you hit 4 levers. So 4 to 6 levers at the end of the game, not during interim, you get 2 additional points per lever. If you have 7 or more levers, you get 3 additional victory points per lever. So that helps out a lot in the game also. So that is the interim scoring. So bottom line front is I scored 2 points total on interim scoring. And so now we're about to go into, I guess, phase 2 round 2, where we're heading towards the second lock. And we'll go ahead and begin that transition now. Okay, since it's my turn, I need levers, and I need settlements, which I need to put inhabitants out. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and grab this one for the settlement action, and I'm going to, I don't have any night cards I want to play. The only one I have is well, it gives me +1 coin for every night card I sell. It's going to cost me, I think I'll do this. It's going to cost me 3 coin, which I have. And it costs me 1 stone, which I automatically have, and 1 iron, which I automatically have. And this is a continuous non-stop. So 1 coin for every day card and 1 coin for every night card I sell on top of the 2, I guess. So I get a total of 3 coins for each sell. I'm going to place an inhabitant out right here on this top slot. If the tiles are divided in half, that means 2 players can occupy the same tile, top and bottom, but you can't occupy 2 spaces on the same tile. Only 1 player per tile per space. So I took the top one, which gives me 1 coin, and that ends that part. The second half allows me to either play or upgrade an inhabitant, and so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to upgrade, which means it's going to cost me an available inhabitant in my ready pool, along with the inhabitant on the board, to put a house out. And now I have a house there and a house here. I've cleared this row, which automatically gives me this inhabitant here, which will open up some victory points during interim and end game scoring. And that was it. The other option could have been to either upgrade or sell a card that was neutral, any color card, but I wanted to do the inhabitant. Now I get to move 4 spaces. Now I'm going to move right to this inhabitant here. The 4 space gives me an additional inhabitant. So now I have 2 for next round, and that ends my turn. Autumn's last token, he flips it over. And of course the settlement action is at the bottom. So he gets to upgrade or place a house. So he has 1 house on the board. If he had 2 houses, then he'd upgrade 1 of those to a settlement. But he always has to have at least 2 houses on the board before he upgrades 1 to a settlement. So, and he has to upgrade 1 to a settlement if there's 2. So we're going to place a house on the board, and because I don't have any more tiles to refer to on what number to play, I look at the board here. In the top corner will tell you which number to play off of, because that represents the final tile that was not flipped if you need to do numeric choice. So that means he places on tile number 28, and 28 I'm occupying. So then he goes to 29, not there, 30 not there, so he goes to 31. And so he has a house on tile number 31 in New Hope. And now he gets to either take the Pioneer action, which is a flashlight, the Cattle action, or the Hammer, which is the Builder. So let's see, close to the top is the Cattle, is all the way top, so he gets that, so he pulls that out, which means he's going to move 4 spaces. And he gets to lay both a pasture and a cattle. So we lay a pasture out first, and it's going to go, it starts at, once again, 28, so it goes to 29. Oh, and he covered up one of the resources that I could get. And then he gets to lay a cattle out in a space that's most advantageous to him. And right now, none of them are. So that could go here, or it could go here. And so I think I'm just going to put it here because there's better chances of building a house right there for him. So I'll take another cow off the board for him and drop it there. And that ends his turn. I get to either lay a cow or buy or sell another card of any style. And I think I'm going to, if I do a cow, it's going to cost me an inhabitant. I have the inhabitants. I could place a cow here. That will cost me 2 inhabitants to go here. It will cost me 3 to go here, and 3 is about as much as I can go. Looking at this, I think instead I'm going to see if I can play a card. I need to reach my goal of 3 daytime and 5 dusk cards. And I have 3 and 3 of each. So I'm going to play I'm looking around. I think I'm going to play the one that will let me move my wagon so I can get to number 2 on the slot, so I can do this on the second round maybe. So it's going to cost me 8 coin, and this is in-game scoring. So I'll get, it costs 8 coin, 3, all my coin. Ooh, it's all my coin right there. And I get to move once on the card track, so I'm at slot number 1. And at the end of the game, I get 2 victory points for every settlement I have on the board. So every one of these. And then I get to move my 4, or then, he moves his 4 spaces. So he's right there. Next play is more than likely going to put him into through another lock. So now I get to go. Before I go though, I'm going to take Automa's tokens, his tiles, and shuffle them up like I did for the setup. And like I said, shuffle them up as best you can. Try to forget where they're at. And once you shuffle them, like I said, just rotate them so you get the Automa's head facing a different direction. I'm going to cut them and throw them up here and just drop them down. Now I get to go. I would like to, I need everything. So it's not one thing I don't need. I need it all. So I think I'm going to go ahead and can't purchase anything. So I'm going to grab this one. It's the hire. I'm going to hire. I can either upgrade or buy or sell a night card. I don't have any night cards, so I'm not worried about that. But I get another worker onto the board from the pool. I get to lay down a tile, location tile, and this is for 10 coins. If I pay 10 coins, I would go here. I can go up 3 slots on either the income track or the card track, or if I go to the second slot, it's going to cost 15. Of course, you want to go to the cheapest one. But I'm going to drop this. I'm going to put it right here. Yeah, I'm going to put it right here. It gives me another worker. So now I have 4 workers. This is going to benefit me towards the end. But now I got to get income going. And that done. Now the second action is I can sell or trade 3 cards or 3 coin for another worker. Don't want that, but I get to move 4 slots in the river, so I'm just going to move 2 slots because I get 3 victory points for stopping there, and that's why I'm trying to cash his victory points. I could have gone here, got 2 cards, or I could have got 3 coin, but I wanted the victory points. I know the Ottoman, unless he pulls a 1, is going to get 4 more victory points and force a restart at the top there. Now it's the Ottoman's turn. Flip over his tile, and he does not have the settlement or the cattle action at the bottom, so he gets 2 slots on the cactus track because it's a B tile. And then he either has the shovel, the flashlight, or the hammer. The hammer's at the very top, so he grabs the hammer. We'll put it down here, and the hammer gives him 2 more slots on the cactus track. So, whew. And then that's why B tiles are so can really change the game. And then I get to I can trade a worker for a lever, or I draw a card. I'm going to trade a worker back into the pool, and I'm going to, well, now I gotta have income because you don't get to keep it. The levers do cost money, and I just don't have that income. So I'm going to draw a card, I guess. And it's a nighttime card, and we'll go from there. And then he moves his 4 slots. Really, it's just 2. He stops there. He gets 4 more points on the victory track, which brings him to 17. And we go back into interim scoring again. Alright, so if I didn't explain it the first round, I'm going to explain it more thoroughly. When you do interim scoring for the Wise Eminence, you score only the last vacated space they have. So you don't score all their spaces, just the last space they have vacated. When it came to the cactus track, I earned 2 points. It's not where the token is sitting at, it's the last vacated space. If you look at the bottom of the cactus track, there's a blank space here. So you score the points behind the token, not on the token. So I scored 2 points when I was sitting here. I was actually scoring the 2 points right behind it. So just to clarify that, I don't think I explained it more as in detailed on that first interim scoring, but that's how scoring does. So I hope I didn't mess you up when you were scoring the last time there. So right now, the Automa gets 1 point for a house on the board, so that's 1 victory point, brings him to 18. He gets 4 victory points for having 2 cattle on the board, which brings him to 22. Still no settlements. And the last vacated space was 4 victory points on the cactus track, which brings it to 26. So that ends the Automa's turn. Once again, I can either play or sell cards. I don't have the money, so I'm going to sell a night card. And with my special ability, I get 3 coins for that. And I'm only going to do that 1 card, because I'm going to keep the rest. I got to buy the rest of these cards. Now for scoring, I have failed. I was hoping to get to number 2 on the card track, but I failed to do that. I don't think I'm going to get the combination of 5 different settlements in this configuration here with all 3 are touching. So I'm going to go and take the negative 2 points for that. So I put my number 2 down. It would have been 2 points if I earned it. So I lose 2 points on the victory track. So I go down 2. On here I have my income track. I get 3 coin and I get 3 cards. So I'm going to get my 3 coin. And I get to pull 3 cards. And alright, got a mix of all 3. Like I said, I need to get more daytime, and I need 1 more daytime, and I need 5 dust cards. Then lever, I haven't bought any levers yet. I'm behind on that. And I score my track. So I get, for having inhabitant space open, I get 1 victory point. I get 4 coin for having 2 houses on the board. So it's going to help in the card purchasing power. I get 1 more coin for having a cattle on the board. Nothing is near a settlement, so it ends that. We didn't do any of the regions, and I've already scored down here, so that's the end of interim scoring. Finally, because we're in this location here, we reset all player boats back to the start point that you start at the beginning of the game. And that ends the second interim scoring. And let's go ahead and transition back into phase 3 of this game. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. I need cards played. I need the card collection track to move up. And of course I want the income track to move up too, because I start getting victory points once I get to spots 3 on the coin and spot 2 on the card track. So let's see what options I have. Let's see, I can do a daylight card with this one. What I have for daylight cards, I have 11 coin. I only need 1 more daylight card. This will give me that's a nighttime card. Let me see here. Daylight cards will let me move on the coin track, but none of the dust cards will let me move on the coin track. So we're on the card track. There's 1 that will let me do it. So I can spend 5 coin, 2 stone, and 1 loom, which I'm right there. I don't need to pay to have the boats move. So really pretty much 5 coin. And I can get that, it'll move 1 on the card track, bring me down to 2. If I spend 10 coin and put an inhabitant there, I will move up 3 on the card track. And that'll put me at 4, and I need to get to 4. So is it worth paying 10 coin to go up 3 on the card track? I think it is. So I need to get I'm going to take this action here, which is the Pioneer action, which allow me to place 2 tokens, tiles. So I'm going to place, in order that I grabbed in this tile, I think in order to, I can put a pasture there if I want to. Now I would like to, and hopefully keep the Automa from going there. So let me see here, so I need to keep that open. So I'm going to put a tile here and collect 4 coin. I'm going to trade this 1 and get a 5. So now I'm up to 15 coin. The second tile is I lose 5 points if I put a, wow, that's a pretty rough one, if I put a settlement there. So I really don't want that, so I'm going to put it right here and collect a stone, turn that stone +1 to a +2. And then I get to either place or upgrade. Now to upgrade to a settlement will cost me 2 of my settlers. So And I think I'm going to do that. And it's going to be a little painful because that means he also gets points for it. So I'm going to spin 2 of my settlers from my ready board and put back in the pool. And I'm going to take this house. Now when you take a house off, it's permanently off the board. It doesn't go back into there. So I'm just going to set it. I'm going to put it in the dice tray also. And then I'm going to take a settlement out. I spent 2 of my people for that. And I place the settlement right here. That bottom half is still open. I don't get to collect the income for that one again because the house already did that. So you don't get to double dip on that. And I did the upgrade to a settlement. And I don't get to take the second action. But oh, I forgot to see if I could. I skipped a card phase where I could either sell a card or buy a card. And I think I was set on going ahead and buying a card for 5 coin. 2 stone, 1 loom. My boats are already in those areas. So I'm going to do that, and this is end of game scoring. And we'll spin the 5 coin. And the end of game scoring for every, so if looks like if I'm on the 4th spot of the card track, I get 3. And if I'm on the 5th spot of the card track, which is here, I will get 5 victory points. Or 5 victory points. If that's how I'm reading it right, I'll double check it. But I do gain a card immediately on the card track, so it puts me at number 2. I still need to go up a couple more before we do the next scoring. And I get to move 4 spaces. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And collect 1 coin. I moved all 4 spaces. So I have 11 coins. So I can still take this action next if I want to place another settler. And then we close it up. Now it's the Automa's turn. The Automa, the bottom can't take the settler, can't take the cattle, so it goes 1 on the cactus track. And let's see, the highest one we're looking for is actually going to be the regional scoring. So he's going to do regional scoring. He's going to hurt me. I guarantee it. So what he's going to do is he's going to score here, get 3 victory points, because he can get points here and here, and I don't have anything else on the board outside of there. So he's taking advantage by keeping me from getting anything. So he gets 3 victory points, puts him to 30, or 29. And then he gets 1 victory point for everything outside of that, which is 2 more. And I don't have anything outside of that, so I don't get to collect any income for that. And then he moves 4 spaces, but because he can't share space, that means he skips a space to there. Now it's my turn again. Oh, and also I get to score the second half, so it doesn't matter. So it's my turn again. Alright, so my turn again. Want to place a settler, so I need to play something I can drop a settler. That's going to cost me, if I take any of these 2 down here, the last 2, because they've been recently played, it costs you victory points. So if I went to this one here, I would lose 2 victory points, and this I lose 3. Can't afford to lose any victory points, so I can't take these 2 actions. Which means if I want to place a settler, I'm forced to take the settler action, which unfortunately is going to allow the Automa to go ahead and do a settler action again. But I need to place a settler. I'm going to spend 10 coin. First, let me look at the cards, see if I want to keep or sell any. And I think I'm going to keep them all still. So I'm going to place 10 coins. I'm going to place an inhabitant here. And because I did that, I get to go up 3 more slots on the card track. So that puts me at 5, which is 1 beyond what I would need to score on the third in the scoring round. So that works out for me. Now I can either upgrade a settler or place another settler or inhabitant. And I think I'm going to, if I upgrade, I'm out of inhabitants. But, you know, it might be worth it. I'm really debating what I should do here. Yeah, I'm going to upgrade. So I'm going to do another house. So this settler goes back into the pool. This house will come off and replace this settler right here. And this settler goes back into the pool. I have no settlers left. I still got to place a cattle on another house to get that settler. Other than that, I got to do some recruiting. Now that that's completed, I will get to move 4 more spaces. Skip over 1, 2, 3, and 4, which will give me 2 cards. And there we go. Then I move that up, and now it is the Automa's turn. The Automa, of course, is going to take the settle action at the bottom here. So that means the Automa gets to place a house or upgrade a house. He has 2 houses on the board. That means the next house will be an upgrade. So he's going to upgrade here to here because it gives him the best advantage. And this house goes away also. He doesn't get to keep it. And that is the top part. The bottom part is whatever's the highest right now. It's the shovel, which is I think and he gets to move once on the cactus track with that shovel. Now I get to take the second action. I can either play a card or sell a card. It's time to start selling some cards because I need income because I need to buy more cards, but I gotta sell, and I need to sell a night card if I can. I'm gonna sell a night card. I got the track for the card track where I want it at. I would like to make it higher for more points, but right now I'm doing it for coins. I get 3 coins for selling a night card because of my continuous benefit there. So that gives me 4 coins total. And that's the end of that turn. The Automa will move 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, skip over me and go to 4. And we move that up right there. Now it's my action again. I want to place a cow, so I'm going to take the very top one. I want to put a pasture out. I'll put the pasture right here. And I get to place a cow out. Well, first, let me look at my cards again. I should really do the cards first before I start doing stuff. Let's see. So I can either play a day card or sell a day card. And my day cards cost, the cheapest one is 4, but I gotta have 4 wood. I only got 2 wood. And so I can't play any of my cards. And I need all of my dust cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need all these dust cards in my hand to start purchase them. So I'm gonna hold tight. I am gonna sell a day card though for more coin. I get 3 coin for selling a day card. I'm gonna sell this one because it's the most expensive for me to play out there. And I get 3 more coin. I'll take 5 and leave those 2 because I should have 7 total. And then I get to place a cow, but in order to place a cow, oh man, I didn't think about that. I'm out of inhabitants. So I can't place a cow because I got to burn an inhabitant to place a cow. So I kind of messed myself up there. It is what it is. I should have looked at the whole thing. So I can either play a card or sell a card. I'm going to sell another card. I'm going to sell this one right here just because at the end it costs a little more than the other one, and I get 3 more coins. It was a daytime card. So I'm up to, I'm going to trade this total of 5 in for, I have 10 coin now. And I get to move 4 spaces. I can go, I'm going to stop here. The reason I'm stopping there, it gives me an inhabitant. So at least I got 1 on the board. And now it's the Automa's turn. The Automa is going to, of course, take the cattle action. Allows it to place a cow with wherever it's going to best benefit it. And the best benefit is to right here because it's next to a settlement. And then I get to, or then he's going to place, let's see, the build action is the highest one on that track of options. So he will get to go another slot on the cactus track. And I can trade an inhabitant in for a lever, and the lever is going to cost whatever the costs are. It's hurting, but I need my inhabitant still, so I'm going to have to leave it as is. He gets to move 4 spaces, and he's going to trigger scoring. He landed on a victory point, so he gets 2 more victory points, and now we're going to trigger scoring again. I do get to draw a card, though, since I didn't build a lever. And it's another dust card. It's a really cheap card, so I think I'll end up playing it. So now we get to do scoring. We'll do the Automa first. So he has 1 victory point for a house out there. He has 3 victory points for having a settlement out there. Puts him at 37. He gets 6 victory points for having cattle out there. 43. Plus he gets 1, 2, 3 victory points for each settlement his cattle are connected to. So we have 2 settlements here. That's 2 victory points, and 1 settlement here. That's a 3rd victory point. So he gets 3 more victory points. Puts him at 46. Cactus track was 8, so he gets to go to 54, and that's it for him. Okay, now it's my turn. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to either sell cards or play cards. I can play 2 of those total. Let's see. I'm gonna do some dust cards, but I would have to sell. I'd have to sell the boat upstream. That would cost me 2 coins. So I'm gonna put the ore to the side, not the ore, but the loom to the side for now. I think. Let's see. These dust cards cost 6 coin. It's going to be 2 wood. I got to move wood. So either way I have to pay to move. So I might as well go back to the cheaper one. And this will give me a... See, if I do this one, I can't do that, I don't have to. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to have to pay 4 coin for the card. I'm paying the 4 coin for the card. Plus I own an additional coin, so I'm moving one of the boats upstream, which leaves me 4 coin remaining. And I'm moving the boat upstream 1 spot to the loom location. So I got 1 loom, 1 ore, 4 coin were spent, plus the 2 coin for moving the boat. And I have a dust card, and this is just a red card, no in-game scoring, except for what the points are on it. But I get to go 1 more on the card track, so that works there. I can still take another action, and I need 1 wood, and can't get the 2. This is loom and stone. Can't do that. Can't do that. It's going to cost me. Every other card is going to cost me because I have to move my boat. Except for this one, but it costs 5 coins. So I'm going to, let's see here. I got 2 out of the 5 dust cards. I have 3. I have 6 remaining. So I think I'm going to sell another card. One that's going to be easiest to sell for me mentally would be, I'll do this one right here. And get, it's a dust card, so I only get 2 coin for that. And so there we go from right there. Next is scoring on the tracks there. So I get 3 coin for the income collection. Give me 3 there. I get 2 cards and 5 victory points for being here. So let me give myself 5 victory points. And grab 2 cards. Hopefully they're cards I can sell or buy on the cheap because of the... Yeah, I can buy them both on the cheap. That's great. This one's going to be really easy because I already have the vase for it. And let's see here. Next is levers. Don't have any levers yet. And since I'm over here, I score, so I get 1 victory point for having a inhabitant out. That's 13. I got 2 coin and 1 victory point for the first row of houses. So it's 1 victory point, 2 coin. And the next house right there is also 2 coins, so I get a total of 4 coin. I get 3 victory points for having a settlement out. So I'm up to 17. I get 1 coin for having a cow out. Plus I get 2 victory points for having it near settlements. So that puts me to 19. And finally, I'm starting to do a little, get some points there, even though the autumn has probably more than doubled my score right now. But that's the end of scoring phase. Now we go into the final phase, which means once the autumn gets here, it's in game, so I need to get my cards bought and played. And I have 2 dusk and 2 daytime. I need 1 more daytime and 3 dusk. So this is going to be a whole lot of card buying. And since the autumn went last, I get to go. So let's keep going. So I think I'm going to play, I'm going to do a daylight action. So this is going to allow me to either sell a card or play a card. I'm going to definitely play a daytime card. This will be the last daytime card I need. And this is going to cost 5 coin and 1 vase. Got the vase. And I got the 5 coin. And then I get to, that's 5 coin. Get to move on the card track 1 more. And this is in-game scoring, so I'll put it right here. Which means I get 1 victory point for every resource I have past the original. So I have a 2, a 1, and 1, so that's 4 victory points right there. And that was the daytime card. Now I get to lay 2 tiles, and I get to place an inhabitant, or do an upgrade. I'm going to lay a tile. Like I said, I need coin, but I also need cards to sell. This is filled up, this is filled up. I can go here, or one of these connected are here. So I think I'm going to go here and collect 2 coin. And then I'm going to go, I'm going to go here and collect 2 more coin. I'm going to be purchasing lots of cards. So there goes that spot. I get to place an inhabitant out, or I can do an upgrade. I can't upgrade yet due to the fact that I don't have enough inhabitants. So if I place an inhabitant out, it's not points at the end of the game. But if I go there, it's 2 more coin. Or if I go there, it's 1 coin. If I go there, I lose victory points, but I get 6 coin. I think I'm going to just... So that's it for me. I move 4 spaces. I'm going to jump over. I want the coin, but I also want the victory points. So I'm going to get 2 more victory points. I need to close up the gap with the Automa. And then that ends that turn. Now it's the Automa's turn. Flip over. The very bottom cards are not the settle or the cattle, so he gets 1 more on the cactus track. And then it's either the shovel. Here's the shovel. Next is the regional scoring, and then the settling. So it's regional scoring. So of course he's going to do regional scoring. He's going to get 3 victory points because it'd keep me from scoring. And then he gets 2 victory points for outside of that area. I get 1 coin because of my house right there. And then he gets to move 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3. So he gets 3 more victory points. So now is crunch time. I have to get some cards on the table. Otherwise, because I think next round, unless he gets a 1, I'm kind of screwed. And I'm going to lose a lot of points. So I'm going to have to just go ahead and do this right here. It's my turn. It is the build action. And I can either play or sell a dust card. I'm going to play a dust card. And it costs 4 coin, 1 wood, and 1 stone. I already have that without moving the boats. So I pay the 4 coin. Dust card goes out. And this is just, and it goes 1 more on the card track. Then I do not, let's see. I want to buy a lever, but I can't because I need to make sure I have money for the cards. So I'm going to skip that. I get to draw a card though, and it's another dust card. It's a really cheap one, so hopefully I get 1 more chance to buy cards. I have 1, 2, 3 dust cards. I need to be able to buy 2 more dust cards, which I can make it happen at the end of the game if all goes well. But I really gotta, it's going to be a really tight one. But I think I have the ability to get it. We'll see. Alright. And that's it for me. I move 1 space only, which gives me 2 inhabitants, which is great. I could probably use those, hopefully, if I get 1 more chance. And that goes up. Now it's the Automa's turn. The Automa is nothing down, so it moves on the cactus track because, like I said, doesn't have the settlement or the cattle. Then it takes the highest one. So right now we have the flashlight, which is here, the cattle bell, which is here, and the hammer's the bottom. So it's the cattle one. So he's going to move 2 spaces, which means he's going to end the game. And so he gets to lay a pasture and a cow. So he's going to drop a pasture, and it's going to be based on this, location 28. Location 28, of course, is right here. That's all filled up, so he goes up here to number 1. And then he drops a cow in the most advantageous place for him. There's really not one, so he'll just drop a cow there. He does not have any houses out, so I got kind of lucky in this game. And then I can take the second action, means I can play a cow, and I can sell or upgrade a card. So I'm going to play a cow by dropping this inhabitant. And let's see here. If I put a cow there, it's going to cost me 2 inhabitants. So I'm going to go ahead and spin the second one. And now I got 2 inhabitants there, spent 2 cows, and I'm next to another settlement, which gives me a little more points. And then I get to play a card. Or no. I could have played a card, but I'm not. But I'm going to wait because in-game scoring comes after I take care of that, so I should be good to go. And that will end the Automa's turn. He moves 2 spaces, so I get my last action. Don't have very many options left. I can place a settler out, but I can't do any upgrades because I don't have enough settlers to upgrade with. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and do this right here, which will allow me to play 2 cards or draw 2 cards. And I'm going to purchase or play a card, not 2 cards. I can play 2 cards total because of the second action. So I'm going to purchase 1 card for 4 coin for 1 wood. So I'm going to pay 2 more coin to go back. I'm going to actually do, 1 wood and 1 stone. Oh, actually, I don't need to go back because I got the 1 wood. 1 wood, 1 stone. So I paid 4. So I don't have to go back, and then I get to place this card. No in-game conditions there, but I get to go once on the income track. So that's one more. I need 1 more dust card, and then I'm going to take the second action, of course, which I get to either play a card or sell a card. I'm going to play another card, which means that for 4 more coin. Let me see what's going to give me the best of it, if I can do any of these. I think I'm going to do this then. It's going to cost me a little bit more. Yeah, no, I'll go right here. It's worth 3 points in the game. So I'm going to spend 4 more coin. There goes the 4 coin, 1 loom, and 1 stone. I got plus 2 stone. And I get to get on income collecting, I get an extra coin. But that's it. So pretty much that's it for me. I'm done with that action. I move 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. I get 3 more victory points. And that is the end of the game. And we'll go into interim scoring, and then we'll go into final scoring. And I'll be right back with that in a moment. Alright, before we start interim scoring, I did forget one thing. When I drew this tile here, I forgot to collect my 3 coin. So I got my 3 coin, gives me 5 coin now. So I got that, which is advantageous because it lets me take another card action during the interim scoring. So for interim scoring on the final round for the Automa, just because final scoring and interim scoring are the same points for the Automa, so you just take his points and double them, and I'll go over the minor differences after that, which is only 1 more difference. So right now the Automa, so every point I have I'm just going to double up once I total them up. So once again the Automa gets to score the last vacant slot they had. So he gets 1 point for houses, 3 points for settlements, 8 points for cattle, so that is 12 points. And then they get 12 points for the cactus track, which gives them a total of 24 points, plus another 24 is 48 points. So I moved the Automa from 62 to 106 points. So we'll put the 100 marker out right here so we know it's at 100. And the difference is, for the final scoring, other than what we just did for the Automas, if you have unused tiles from the Automa's tile, any that were B's gives the Automa another 10 points. Luckily for me, the Automa finished his move on the last one. If the Automa had 1 more play left, I would have had to reshuffle these, and it would have been a good chance that B would have been in there, and it's 10 points for each B left in there. So right now the Automa has ended the game with 106 points total. Now I'm going to do my interim scoring first, and then final scoring is going to be different versus interim scoring. So once again, interim scoring is first I get to play or sell cards. I'm going to buy a card. So I have 5 coin because I collected that 3 from that tile I played. And I have a card that's worth exactly 5 coins, so I'm going to go ahead and get that. And it's a in-game scoring card also. For each cattle I have on the board, another additional victory point. So I'm going to spend all 5 of my coin. And this card is worth also, the point value is the cattle on the board value, which is not much. But it's another card. But I get to move 1 more on the income track, which gives me another score for the victory points. that's complete. I go down here. I definitely met the conditions for my points down here for my scoring for yellow. I needed to have in the 4th round 3 daylight and 5 dust cards. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4 daylight and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I met the criteria. So I put my number 4 marker on there, which gives me 4 points times 2, which is another 8 points. So I go from 24 to 32. Then I score the tracks here. I'm not going to collect income because income does not give you any extra points at the end of the game. If you have any leftover vases or coins or anything, you don't get extra points. It is what it is. So 1 and 8 gives me another 9 points. So I go to 41. Still haven't even gotten to half the distance of the automa. And then levers, I have no levers again, so no victory points. And the region gets reset. And then over here, I've earned 2 victory points, plus 3 gives me 5, and then 6, 7, 8, because cattle's located next settlement, so another 8 victory points. So it brings me to 49. And that is it for the interim scoring. Now I go into final scoring. Now for final scoring is different. On final scoring, I score how many levers I have. I have 0 levers, so I got 0 points. So I don't get any points that I failed to buy any levers because I was so focused on saving my income for the cards and trying to move my track that I did not buy any levers. Next is I get victory points for cards played. So we're going to start with the cards that have the hard victory points that don't have conditional victory points. I want to add these up first. So I have 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 3 is 8, plus 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12, 2 more is 14, and 3 more is 17. So I get to go another 17 points. So it brings me from 49 to 67. 66, I'm sorry. 66. And then I have my conditional points I score. So this one, we'll start at the top one. It's the breeder. I get 1 victory point per cattle on the board. I have 2, so that's 2 more points. Gives me 68. The next one is the plant manager. I get 1 victory point for every plant I have above 0, which is the resources here. So I got 4 total. I got 2, a 1, and a 1. So that gives me 4 more points. So it gives me 72. This here is residence. And with residence on the card track, if I've made it to 4, I would get 3 victory points. If I made it to 5, I get 5 victory points. I made it all the way down to 8, so I get 5 more victory points. So it brings me to 77. And then for the Reverend, I get 2 victory points for each settlement out, which is only 1 settlement, so that brings me to 79. I did not take any cattle or settlements or houses from these bottom 3 rows, which are in score additional points, so I don't get any points for that. And like I said, leftover coins and cards do not count as victory points. So that is it on the victory point scale. So bottom line up front, I played the second easiest level, which is just 1 B tile, and I don't think it had that much of effect on the game. Probably would have been about 10 victory points less for the automa if I played with all A. So bottom line front, the automa beat me 79 to 106. So automa is kind of a crush. It took off ahead of me fast. My failures were I was so focused on meeting my score down here that I did not get to take the action up here, where I could have spent the 14 coin with the resources I already have in play, and that would have been another 14 victory points, which still wouldn't have beat it, but it would have made it a lot closer. And if I just got some levers on the board, I would have scored at least 1 or 2 points every round, unless I'd used them both. But so focused on trying to meet these here and not lose points that I couldn't spend the income there. So that was pretty resource heavy, trying to get those cards out there to ensure that when it came to coin, to ensure that I was able to meet my objectives on my scoring platform. And like I said, I did lose a couple points for failure to meet one of them there. So, if I hadn't lost those points, the game would have been a lot closer. But it is what it is. Game is fun. It's enjoyable. And other than that, enough talking about this. I'll see you guys in a moment for my final thoughts. And see you then. So Boonlake, it's a good medium to heavy game. I like it. I would never put a brand new player on this one, someone who's never gamed before or is into light games because they haven't advanced yet. But this is a gateway game. Go from light into medium, or even from medium to medium heavy. You can bring them, you can ease them to this game because this game, the mechanics are simple. The rules are simple. It's written by the great Alexander Pfister. He knows gamers, so he made the rule book really easy. All kinds of examples, pictures. You cannot go wrong with this rule book. Well, like I said, he knows us. He understands it. He knows what we want. We want to get to the game. We want the rule book to be easy and simple. So he does that. So the rule book, if he didn't put those examples in, the rule book would be half the pages. But he puts those examples in there, and we love him for it because he knows what we're thinking. So thank you, Mr. Pfister, for hooking us up with very easy to understand rule books. But I like the game a lot. I'm going to bring it out more often. The Automa is very powerful. I mean, it's not too overpowered, but I played it on the second easiest level. You saw how bad he beat me. But at the same time, I probably could have adjusted the score a bit. If I got some levers out there, the score would be a lot closer. I don't think I would have beat him, but I would have got the score a lot closer. But the problem I have is I was focused on those Interm Scorings at the bottom, which is costing me a lot of my coin, and so I could not not even spare a couple coin to get a lever out there. As you saw at the end of the game, it got down to the last few coin. But that was how the tokens came out. Scoring tokens will be different next time. I might be able to do better. But I played this game about 6 times. I haven't beat it yet, and I think the closest I got was within 15 points. So each game is different, but it is fun. I enjoy it. But I don't play games to win. I play games to enjoy it. So if I win, it's just an extra bonus. But if I'm enjoying the game, win or lose, I'm having fun. That's all that counts. And that's all it should count for anybody is just enjoying the game itself. And once again, thank you for joining me at Gaming Solo. It is truly an honor and humbling that you are spending your time with me. I cannot give that time back to you, so hopefully what I'm producing is well worth your time, because it is definitely precious time that you're giving to me and what I'm doing. I truly am humbled. If you guys like what you see, or if you have any comments you want to make to help me improve the channel, by all means drop some comments in the comments below, and I will do my best to make those adjustments, if they're within reason, if it's within my resources. If you don't want to put your comments in the public domain, then by all means email me at gamingsolo101@gmail.com. It's also in the description below. And I'll keep that email private. I will not publish that email publicly and that stuff. And once I'm done with the email, I'll delete it so it's even out of my system. But other than that, thank you again. It's truly humbling. When you get a chance, check out the Solo Board Gamers Facebook page. Learn a lot from them. There's also content producers on there also, and game designers are on there also. So you every once in a while will pop in, and when they see a thread going for their game, and they'll add to the conversation or even clarify some questions. So those guys are on it, and they're watching and they're listening. So by all means, check it out and hopefully enjoy it. But once again, thank you for joining me at Gaming Solo, and I will see you next time at the next playthrough. And have a great night.